Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Michael for Spirit Comics. Welcome to my channel. This will be my review of The Life of Captain Marvel issue 5. I believe this came out in December of 2018, I think. Or maybe it was November, I can't remember. I'm not sure. Anyways, if you're new here, please do subscribe. And those videos of mine that you enjoy, please drop them a like and share them around. If you like this one, drop it a thumbs up and share it around. I want to thank everyone who's subscribed to my channel recently and who comments on my videos. That really helps me. It does. It's really encouraging. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Now, in this 5th issue, it opens up with a flashback of Carol doing a test flight of some prototype over Kennedy airspace, and she's being cocky toward NASA control, I believe, because the control says, "Just don't waste that billion-dollar prototype. You're burning up fuel. Just a little higher. Direct order, Colonel. Just to the other side of those clouds." And Control says, "Do they not do direct orders where you come from, Air Force?" So she's literally receiving a dressing down while she's in the air. However, Control gets up in the air and starts to do a little bit of a dogfight with her. And then we see that this is actually somebody appears to be in love with. Then we go back to present day. Now, something I'm going to mention again. This was to set up Captain Marvel's definitive origin, which means all of her past origins are retconned, or as the term actually is, it's retroactive continuity. But people know the term retcon much more than that. And this is the cleaner that came to claim her mother, Marielle, and she's holding Joe Jr. hostage. And there's a message from the Empress or ruler of Hala. And so Carol's going to defend her mother, but they're going to have to rescue Joe Jr. first. Now, I have to say that the artwork in this issue is pretty good, and the person who drew Captain Marvel actually did draw her like a woman, not like a skinny man. So they're following the cleaner, who sends out some clone drones to try and attack both Captain Marvel and her mother, Marielle, who is now running low on power. But they fight anyway. Then they find Joe Jr., who was literally hung out to dry by the cleaner. As you can see, this is Joe Jr. right here, and he's hanging out to dry. Yes, I did. Yes, that is a little bit funny. I thought so anyway. And for those who don't like Captain Marvel, I know this is going to be something people will cheer, those who didn't read this. Because Joe Jr. says, "No, no, no, Carol, it's..." And then the cleaner says, "A trap!" And then we see this big thud! Boom! And there's Captain Marvel, literally out of breath. Get off of... She's wheezing. And of course, her mother goes and rescues Joe Jr., saying that she's not going to let that thing hurt him or Carol ever again. Now, there were some pages that I kind of had a problem with, and some pages that I really liked. This scene is one of them that I kind of had a problem with. So, okay, Carol is carrying her mother, and they land, and then Carol says this: "I know you still have the power of All-Hala in you, Marielle." She uses her name, Marielle, instead of Mom or Ma, like she does through most of the book. I don't know why this particular scene she used her given name. Because when I address my mother, it's as Mom, not her given name. However, in the next panel, her mother, Marielle, does what is, what I expect. Maybe so, but the cleaner is too strong. We've got to combine our powers, Carl. And that's what a parent is allowed to do. Address their child by the child's given name. Okay, that's the only problem I had with this particular scene. And they combined their power, and this is what happened. Boom! Big explosion. And then it sort of knocks Carol out, because you see her just sort of almost like she's floating right there. But I really like the way she was drawn here, because she's made to look really feminine, as if there's no doubt whatsoever in my mind that she is female. And I know you're probably saying, "Michael, what are you talking about? Captain Marvel is female." Yeah, I know she is, but she's not always drawn like that. She's sometimes drawn with a ultra flat chest, and her facial features are sometimes that of a man. Okay, now while she's sort of out cold for the moment, they do a flashback to years ago when she's in space with the guy who she was talking to on the comm during the test of the prototype. She calls him Doc. And for those who have been reading Captain Marvel's before there was Carol Danvers, this is going to be a problem. And she calls the guy nerd, okay? She says, "Don't tell me alien ornithology is another one of your hobbies, nerd." Not so much a hobby as a pet. Huh? Pet alien? Yeah, better turn those oxygen levels. Turn up those oxygen levels up, Doc. And then he says, I've been trying to tell you this for a while now. I just haven't known how. And then on the next page, we see this. The man takes off his helmet while they're in space. And he's able to breathe. Carol says, what are you? He says, I'm not from Earth, Carol. I don't understand. I actually am from a galaxy far, far away. That part was right. What are you saying, Doc? He's revealing to her what his true nature is. And it's Mar-Vell. Yes. My name is Mar-Vell. M-A-R-V-E-L-L. And then it seems like she got the power from him, apparently. But in the previous issue of The Life of Captain Marvel, her mother said that she's always had the power. But of course, at that time, when she met Mar-Vell, she did not know that she was half alien. And then they go show her a version of her classic suit that many of us love. And she says nobody knew that the adrenaline surge of combat and the scorching blast of Yon-Rog's strange Kree weapon would awaken every cell in my body. Just as nobody ever knew the reason I'd always flown higher, or pushed further, or run faster, or given more to let flow the awakening stars beneath my skin, though I didn't know why I craved them or what they were. Me. Okay, that to me that seems, you know, kind of Mary Sue-ish to me, but not quite. Anyway, it goes back to the fight, and the Cleaner has some better armor to defend herself from Carol and her mother, Marielle, who actually has a really nice green suit, and it complements her daughter. But then the Cleaner says, Hala will not deny her. No, Carol! And then she does what a mother would do. She sacrifices herself, putting herself in front of Carol so that she can save her daughter. Now see, right here, Carol does not use her given name, Marielle. She says, Ma. That's why I find it a little bit strange. And then Captain Marvel goes into a rage. Kind of. Sort of. What have you done? Don't you dare. You're not going anywhere. And then Captain Marvel, like all good heroes, has to make that ever so important choice. Should she go after the alien, or should she try to save her mother? Because she can't do both. She chooses to try to save her mother. However, this was not meant to be. She takes the spirit out of her mother and she does as her mother says. Take me up, Carol, please. But I like what she says before that. Ma, don't, please. You can't, my girl. You can't go, Ma. Not when I just got you back. I'm not that strong. She says, you're my girl, my Carol. Take me up, Carol, please. So she does. She flies up. For reasons unknown, into space, and she says, you are your mother's daughter. You always were. And it's a touching moment between mother and daughter. And then they go to the lighthouse. And she says, there it is, the lighthouse, just like you asked. First place I saw you with Pops, the real you. Truth feels good, Carol. So does being together, Ma. She says, I was with you always. And she says, there's so much I want to ask. I want to ask you about this and that, and about our powers and stuff. And she said, and her mom wants to tell her about the powers and their people, their family. But she wants to know about her in particular. She said, and I really liked this piece of dialogue here. About you, Ma. What did you want when you came here from Hala? You never said. Ma, what was your mission? She looks at her and says, oh, honey, wasn't it obvious? It was you. My mission was always you. And then she dies. I mean, this is a really good book. It's got really good artwork. It drew me into the story. However, Carol Danvers does not deal with loss very well, or grief, but I don't know anyone who does. And this is 2 weeks later. She's in Joe Jr.'s room, who has his hand over his face, and she's looking through some old photo albums and thinks, now she just looks like some kind of bright star to me. Captain Mariel, daughter of Hala, a ball of cosmic dust and burning light. Star stuff. Because nothing's faster than light. And then she goes up to the Sea of Tranquility, which I have no idea where that is. But she meets Iron Man. And it's at this point, I think, the writer may have done one or two things. She may have started to run out of ideas for dialogue, or she may have decided to just get silly, which I don't think was appropriate at this particular time. Because, as Carol says, Tony, I know this will sound crazy, but have you been ignoring my texts? And I have to wonder, why in the world, how in the world did she find time to text Tony Stark during all that stuff that's been going on? Anyways, he says, not ignoring Space Face, just intentionally not answering. Look, if you need to take some more time, make sure you're ready. She says, ready? Ma's gone, Tony. I'm ready to lose my mind. I need to get back to saving the world because I'm pretty sure it's the only way I'm going to be able to save myself. Because, okay, we see that Carol Danvers is freaking out. She is literally going to lose her mind. And this is where Tony Stark tries to diffuse her with humor. You're basket casing out on me, Danvers. I mean, no judgment. Takes one to know one. You know what you are? Care Bear? You're hers. Maybe that's all. Maybe that's the thing about all this Daughter of Light stuff. That light is in you, and she's in you, Carol. Daughter of Mario. Yada yada yada. Mumbo, midichlorians, jumbo. You catch my drift? See that? That's humor, but I don't think it was appropriate for this situation. Because look at her right there. She's sad and she's leaning on his shoulder for comfort. I'm my mother's daughter. That's all I know for certain. That and that you're almost as bad at feelings talk as I am. And he says, yes, on all accounts. I bet she's looking down on you from some kind of Valhalla heaven. See what I did there? And you know what? She's pretty dang proud. You really think so? He says, I know so. Space face. Really proud because I am too. Now come on. The Avengers need you. She says, the Avengers need me, but I thought you just said, fine, I need you. Happy? Getting there. That almost says to me that there could be some type of deeper relationship between Carol Danvers and Tony Stark. Maybe I'm not sure if I would say a romantic relationship, but more like a big brother and little sister type relationship. Anyways, on the next page, it says a week after that, Joe Jr.'s, he's going off on his own, and she's talking to her friend Lewis, if I remember correctly. And tells him that the Avengers are waiting, and she kisses him on the cheek, so maybe it's not romantic between the two, I'm not sure. And he says, yeah, I know the drill. You get through saving the planet, you know where to find me. And so she flies off to help out the Avengers, but this is not really her story, as we find out here on the very last page. This is actually the story of her mother. This is how my story ends, how all stories end. Mine is a warrior story, told in battle and blood and sacrifice. Mine is a mother's story, told in the life of my daughter, in the life of Kal-El, the greatest warrior the universe will ever know. I am my mother's daughter. My story will live in her legend, but she will live in my heart. The end. I thought that was pretty good. There were some places it could have been better, but it wasn't horrible. It was an enjoyable story. I really did like it. This leads into the Captain Marvel ongoing series that started in January of 2018. So, I hope you enjoyed this review. I know I did, because I love looking at the artwork and the way she's been drawn. If you did enjoy this video, please do subscribe. Please do drop it a like and share it around. And I want to thank everyone who's subscribed to my channel lately and who's been commenting on my videos lately. I really do appreciate that. Thank you ever so much. I am Michael for Spirit Comics. Till next time, true readers.